Well, in what some are calling an ironic story, I would call it tragic, not ironic. A woman from Pennsylvania who famously carried an open loaded pistol to her child's soccer game was shot and killed in what seems to be a murder-suicide. Melanie Hain was thrust into the national spotlight when she took a gun in plain view and holstered on her hip to a soccer game on September 11th of 2008 at Optimus Park in Lebanon. Melanie Hain, not Lebanon, the country that is, but Lebanon, the city. Melanie Hain, the pistol-carrying Lebanon mom who received national attention for taking this gun to her daughter's soccer game, was shot to death Wednesday night with her husband in an apparent murder-suicide, police have said. In a case that was sure to get a lot of traction from the right, Hain was in the process of suing the sheriff, who revoked her gun permit after the incident, even though her license was reinstated shortly after. I'm not trying to put Melanie Hain on trial here, but I disagree with the irresponsible action of taking a loaded weapon and openly displaying it at a children's sporting event. And I get it. People will say, if it's legal, it's her right. And there's no reason not to bring that open, loaded gun to a kid's soccer game. And it's no different than bringing that gun to a Barack Obama healthcare event. But it just seems irresponsible to me.
I had an interesting talk with someone who is a big gun guy. Well, I should say his father was a big gun guy. And his father owned many guns, always carried a handgun.
This isn't Steve Heston, Charlton Heston's son.
No, this is a local man.
Gotcha.
And he has his license to carry. And he says he's always got a pistol in his car, right?
This is in Massachusetts.
And
strict gun laws.
Well, strict, but still, it's relatively easy to obtain a license to carry as long as you have a good record.
Yep.
So he said that he almost never, uses his right to carry, because a lot of the time when you go into a bar, he's from Springfield, which is a bad city, rough city.
It's
he says that it attracts attention to you and you're looking for trouble.
Right.
Of course, it would be different if everybody had a gun. It'd be normal, but everyone doesn't.
But would that be better? I don't know.
I think it's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know. It's not the case, though. You're absolutely right. Carrying open carry, at least in this part of the country, could bring you much more trouble than it will save you.
Right. And then, in a place like Springfield, some people see it, they think, oh, here's a tough guy, and they happen to be carrying guns themselves, and, you can imagine what might happen from there.
Well, Melanie Hain, who famously carried a plain view, holstered, loaded pistol to her daughter's soccer game, has been killed in a murder-suicide. I don't know if she was carrying at the time. I feel for the 3 children who were at home at the time of the shootings and now are faced with growing up without their parents. Incredibly sad story. Let's talk about Barack Obama and the Nobel Prize. The Barack Obama narrative so far, by his detractors at least, has been, and even for many who voted for him, is that he simply hasn't done much yet. He was awarded the Nobel Prize, and I think that this only reinforced the narrative by putting what he has done and making people ask, is it worthy of a Nobel Prize? And for many people, the answer is no. I don't think that it was a good idea to give him the Nobel Prize. Once I found out that nominations had to be in 11 days after he was inaugurated as president, it seemed to me even stranger that he would be nominated. You could make the argument that he was nominated then, but the decision was made much further into his presidency. I think that this was a mistake. I absolutely think that this was a mistake. And let's take a listen to the Nobel Committee's reasoning for giving Barack Obama the Nobel Prize for Peace. Bear in mind, we've got 2 wars going on right now, and I get it. The wars were not Barack Obama's, and many would argue that what he has done since taking office with regard to those 2 wars has pushed peace rather than war. I'm not buying it. I don't believe Barack Obama should have been awarded this. Even though it's not bad for the country, I think it's just fodder for his detractors. Let's take a listen to the Nobel Committee's explanation.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided that the Nobel Peace Prize for 2009 is to be awarded to President Barack Obama for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. So there you got it, Barack.
So that was the explanation. This is pretty weak to me, I have to tell you, Lewis. I think that this is only going to, the positive effect of this, I think, will be limited. I get it. It will encourage peace, maybe. It will show that the United States is no longer hated across the world. Obviously, George W. Bush never would have been even considered for this. Hey, the guy got us into 2 wars. I don't think this was good. I don't think this is a good. Barack Obama seemed as surprised as anyone else that he received this.
Right, and I don't know any of the other eligible nominees, but I agree with you. I like it for every other reason except for the fact that it's going to be fodder for his detractors.
But do you think he's actually done enough to warrant receiving this Nobel Prize? I don't know. I don't think he has.
I don't know.
Especially if we say
talks for Middle East peace. He's met with leaders a few times.
Had he done enough on February 1st?
No.
Exactly.
I don't know. But like I said, I don't know who the other nominees were. But I was surprised. I was thinking, well, that doesn't make much sense. I'm sure there are people who have done, incredible things.
Well, what would you say has been Barack Obama's biggest accomplishment so far?
Well, he's talked about trying to end the war.
But what has he done?
Other than peace talks and setting up a date to close Guantanamo?
Here's what I think. I think that the economic recovery plan has been his biggest accomplishment. And even though it's not clear the full scale of the effect because it takes some time, the talk about how drastic the situation with the economy has definitely leveled off and started to decrease. We don't hear, even after months of complaining that the recovery plan would do nothing to help the economy, things have clearly recovered significantly. The stock markets, even though they are by no means the indicator of how well Joe Q Public is doing, have increased 30 to 40%. We've seen housing prices start to rebound. The job situation is not good. But I see a lot less frantic people when it comes to the economy, and I think that it's been kind of a silent victory because it's the type of thing where it's like a referee in a sporting event. When things are just kind of going at a steady pace, you don't notice it, you don't talk about it, and the media coverage, maybe because of healthcare, maybe because of Afghanistan and a number of other things, has definitely decreased significantly, I would say.
Well, there's always going to be a hot new topic. But, right, I think slowly, unfortunately, we still have a rising unemployment rate.
Right.
But I'd say that is his best accomplishment. But the Nobel Peace Prize, internationally, I think it's good. Here, probably not so good. Strange to me.
If in the next 6 months, the consequences of him having received it, even without completely deserving it, end up benefiting the United States, the situation around the world, the humanitarian situation, the actual peace situation, then it will have been worth it. But based on what he has accomplished so far, I don't know that it was the right move.
I'm going to agree with you there.